is that true strength lies in perseverance. It is this perseverance that has allowed us to become one of the most admired companies in the country. And our perseverance was never more evident than that we demonstrated this past year. We were faced with baseless accusations made by a foreign short seller that questioned our decades of hard work. In the face of an unprecedented attack on our integrity and reputations, we fought back and proved that no challenge could weaken the foundations on which your group has been established. These foundations happen to be our three core values: courage to withstand, trust in our capabilities, and commitment to our purpose. These values were established in 2012 and have continued to become more relevant with every passing year. My dear shareholders, typical short sellers target gains from a financial markets. This was different. It was a two-sided attack, a vague criticism of our financial standing, and at the same time, an information distortions campaign, dragging us into a political battlefield. The attack was a calculated strike 2 days before the closing of our follow-on public offer, amplified by a segment of vested media. It was designed to defame us, do maximum damage, and erode our hard-earned market value. Given the noise, despite successfully raising rupees 20,000 crores through India's largest ever FPO, we made the extraordinary decision to return the proceeds. This underscored our dedication to our investors and our commitment to ethical business practices. In these situations, where most companies would have gone under, our liquidity become our greatest assets. To further augment our cash reserves, we raised an additional rupees 40,000 crores comfortably covering the next 2 years of our debt repayment. This decisive action is a testimony to the great strength of your company. It restored market confidence and we safeguarded our portfolio against any volatility by prepaying rupees 17,500 crore in a margin-linked financing. Furthermore, despite never having faced any challenges with debt repayments, we choose to drop our debt to EBITDA ratio to 2.5 times in just 6 months. It now stands even lower at a 2.2 times. This approach has not only strengthened our financial resilience, but has also increased our headroom for a future expansion. Our stand against the attack was further vindicated when the Supreme Court of India affirmed our actions. In addition, our commitment to operational excellence and transparent disclosures was validated not only by rating agencies and the well-informed financial community, but also by respected global investors like GQG Partners, Total Energies, IHC, QIA, and the US Development Finance Corporation, all of whom choose to invest with us. The headwinds that tested us became the very ones that made us even stronger. My dear shareholders, today the world stands at a crossroads. Geopolitical tensions, strained global relationships, the fight against climate change grows more challenging, and technology change disrupts the way we will live and work. In this uncertainty, the world is witnessing the rise of India. This is India's moment. We are now the force for stability, cooperation, and progress in a complex world. And it is India's macroeconomic stability and ambitious growth plans that inspire our confidence. Given the multiplier effect, the Government of India has rightly focused on infrastructure development by raising its funding by 16% to over rupees 11 lakh crores for this financial year. It is worthwhile to note that annual spending has tripled in the last 5 years. What is even more relevant is that while the national narrative sets the stage for infrastructure spend, large part of the funding and actions are at the state level. In our case, with our operations spread across 24 Indian states, we are first-hand witnesses to the critical role state governments play in implementing the initiatives. My shareholders, I am proud to say that our record-breaking achievements in 2023 underscore our alignment to national priorities as well as our ability to execute the most complex large-scale projects with unmatched expertise. I would like you to picture Khavda sat in one of the world's toughest deserts and now home to the world's largest renewable energy installations spanning several hundred square kilometers, already generating 3,000 megawatt of clean energy. Our aggressive timeline aims to develop 30 gigawatt capacity in the next 5 years. This will be enough to power nations like Belgium and Switzerland. For us, the Khavda Park is a testimony of our commitment to sustainability and a symbol of our national pride. Furthermore, visualize the world's largest redevelopment project in Mumbai's Dharavi as we transform the world's largest slum over the next decade. Not only will this provide dignity of living to its over 1 million residents, but at the same time, this will build an unmatched ecosystem of a sustainable living and innovation in the heart of Mumbai. Or envision the Drishti 10 Starliner UAV, a symbol of Indian innovations, soaring through the skies, protecting the borders of our nation. These are not just machines. They symbolize our unwavering commitment to India's security and well-being. This ability to conceptualize and then handle complexity and execute a very large projects in a difficult conditions is an unmatched competencies that we continue to get better at And the outcomes are manifested in the financial numbers we delivered. My dear shareholders, we achieved an unprecedented milestone in 2023-24. We recorded our highest EBITDA of rupees 82,917 crore, or approximately $10 billion, a remarkable surge of 45%. This exceptional performance draw our PAT to a record high of rupees 40,129 crore, making a substantial 71% growth. Our net debt to EBITDA fell from 3.3 times to 2.2 times over the past year. And all of this resulted in an all-time high level of our liquidity for the group, with a cash balance of rupees 59,791 crore. These metrics demonstrated our highly stable infrastructure platform and lead to a series of rating and outlook upgrades. 3 of our portfolio companies, Ambuja, ACC, and APSEZ, are now AAA rated. Dear shareholders, let me now highlight specific performances of some of our portfolio companies. Adani Enterprises, our group's incubation engine, had a fantastic year. Passenger traffic at our airports witnessed a strong double-digit growth and came in at 88.6 million passengers. We are also privileged to have the Honorable Prime Minister inaugurate the state-of-the-art Terminal 3 at a Lucknow International Airport. Kutch Copper, a pioneering project in Mundra within the AEL portfolio, commenced operations at its greenfield copper refinery. By the end of this decade, we aim to make world's largest single locations copper smelter with a capacity of 1 million metric ton per annum, thus enhancing India's self-reliance on a metal needed for our critical industries. Adani Ports and SEZ also experienced an exceptional year, exceeding 400 million ton cargo and handling a record of 420 million ton. 10 of our ports recorded lifetime high cargo volumes. We also acquired Gopalpur, and Karaikal ports, consolidating our positions as India's premier ports and logistic company. Given renewable energies growth potential, Adani Green Energy revises FY30 targets from 45 gigawatt to 50 gigawatt. In the year, we added 2.8 gigawatt, 15% of India's total renewable capacity addition. The commissioning of the first 2 gigawatt at the world's largest renewable energy plant in Khavda within 12 months of our breaking ground set a record at another proof point that highlights our execution's capabilities. Let me mention a few more of our operational highlights. Adani Power's operating capacity increased by 12% to 15,250 megawatt. With the commissioning of a 1600 megawatt transnational ultra supercritical thermal power plant at Goda. This makes the first power plant in India to export all its power to a neighboring nation. Adani Energy Solutions continue to commission the much needed critical transmission infrastructure, including two 765 kV lines. Our transmission order book stands at rupees 17,000 crores and our smart metering order book has expanded to 228 lakhs units. Adani Total Gas expanded its CNG station to cross 900 stations and PNG connections rose from 8.45 lakh to 9.76 lakhs connections. We also commissioned 606 EV charging points as well as the first phase of one of India's largest biomass plants in Barsana. Following the acquisition of ACC and Ambuja Cements and other commissionings, the Adani Group's combined cement capacity has risen from 67.5 million ton to 79 million ton per annum. And our EBITDA per ton has more than doubled since the acquisitions. We are well on the path towards our target of 140 million ton per annum by 2028. We are also proud that Ambuja Cements was the lead supplier for India's longest sea bridge, the 21.8 kilometers long Mumbai Trans-Harbour Link. Our media entity, NDTV, expanded its presence regionally and scaled digitally with a 39% increase in a global digital traffic. Keeping in mind the quality of programs we intend to broadcast, we also invested in cutting edge, next generation digital infrastructure and added new facilities in BKC, Mumbai and NCR, Delhi. Dear shareholders, let me now talk about the Adani Foundation, where each number tells a story of change, of a life empowered, and of a community given an opportunity to develop. I am grateful for what we have achieved together as we strive to do our part to leave a small positive mark on this world. Let me highlight a few of the initiatives that I am personally most proud of. The Adani Foundation's overall reach that has now extended to 9.1 million individuals across 6,769 villages in 19 states. The Adani Saksam skill development initiatives that saw us empower 169,000 young individuals with essential skills to help them take the steps to secure a brighter future and potentially become entrepreneurs. The health outreach programs that include our mobile healthcare units and camps and touched 2 million lives, delivering essential services to many remote communities, and the Suposhan project that reaches 414,000 women and children and delivers the necessary nutrition to fortify the foundation of future generations. Every evening, my wife and chairperson of the Adani Foundation, Preeti, makes it a point to tell me at least one story of a life that was impacted. These are life lessons, both humbling and inspiring at the same time. Dear shareholders, I have always been an optimist, and as I draw to close, I want to paint a picture of the future that awaits. India is no longer at the crossroads of destiny. We stand on the brink of our greatest growth phase. By the end of this decade, our nation is set to become the world's third largest economy. And given our demographic dividend, we are well on our way to being the largest middle class that the world will ever witness. And with the government now in its third term, your company is well positioned to continue the economic and social programs that have driven our spectacular journey over the past decade. Over the period of the past 10 years, we have seen our GDP double. We are now already achieving a GDP growth rate of over 7%. Our stock market are soaring to a record high, and consumptions is at an all-time high, signaling a robust economic health. As our middle class expands faster than any other in the world, the foundation for growth is solidly in place, and the next decade promises even greater strides. And as we make our way towards becoming a $10 trillion economy by 2032, our spend on infrastructure is expected to grow at a CAGR of 20 to 25% and reach a cumulative spend of a $2.5 trillion. Given that at the very core, we are an infrastructure company, we are well positioned to capitalize on the upcoming opportunities. In addition, as we advance into the era of a simultaneous energy and digital transitions, embracing the renewable energy value chain, green data centers required to power the artificial intelligence data center boom, the upcoming electrifications of mobility, and EV revolutions for a cleaner air, our country is unlocking markets that promise trillions of dollars of a largely yet to be tapped value over the next decade. Dear shareholders, with our record results, robust cash positions, and the lowest debt ratio in our history, our path ahead is illuminated with the promise of even greater accomplishments. The possibility before us are immense. We are stronger than ever, and our best is yet to come. हम करके दिखाएंगे. Thank you. जय हिंद.